Hi everybody, this is Shauna Odette from the Flying Cat Academy. Today we're going to talk about how to analyze the results of the Core Phonics Survey. Tip number 1 is you want to be as detailed as possible when you're filling out the teacher record form. You're listening to the mistakes that the student makes, and then you write down the specific mistakes. So maybe they said when they were identifying the vowel sounds, maybe they said that the short E sound, maybe they gave the short I sound for that instead. So you want to write that down, what the mistake actually was on the record form. Tip number 2, watch out for the A lot of times students incorrectly add this sound onto the end of sounds. So if you said, maybe for asking this, what is the sound of P, they would incorrectly say P instead of making it just the puff of air that it is. So on the record form, I will write down for each of the times that they do that when they're talking about the sounds. And then that'll tell me that later on when I get to teaching, that'll be something I have to target. Tip number 3 is that you want to look for patterns. When the student finishes the survey, I will take the record form away and I've made my detailed notes all over it. And now I'm looking to see if there's any patterns that emerge. So perhaps they couldn't name the sound of L. And then I noticed that in 80% of the words that they couldn't read, those words contained an L. Now I know that that's a significant area of confusion. I'll also be really zeroing in on what vowel confusions happened when they were reading the different words during the quiz. Was the sound of E always getting confused with the sound of I? Maybe I can identify that A and U are the things that are being confused. So I look for patterns. Tip number 4. The Core Phonics Survey is not a survey that can tell you if someone's dyslexic or not, but it can give you some red flags. For example, when the student is reading the nonsense words, often dyslexic students will have great difficulty with reading the nonsense words. So it doesn't mean you're dyslexic, but it's just ding, 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 there's a little red flag. And then later on, near the end of the survey, there's a section where you ask the student to identify a beginning sound in a word. And then there's another list where you're asking them to identify the last sound in a word. And dyslexic kids will often they'll struggle with that task. For dyslexics, words are sticky. They have trouble taking them apart. So none of those things mean this person is dyslexic, but they're all just things that, get my spider sense tingling, like maybe there's something going on there. Pro tip number 5, last one. One deficiency of the Core Phonics Survey is that it doesn't give you information about whether the student can write the alphabet in uppercase and lowercase letters. So I always do that with the student. I ask them to do that for me in lesson number 1 when I'm teaching them in the reading remediation, just because that's information I do want to know. Thanks for watching. This is Shauna Odette from the Flying Cat Academy.